Hey, what's going on, everybody? So day 2, Under Armour All-America practices. Today was great. I was really looking forward to today because they were going to have 1-on-1, 7-on-7, some full 11-on-11 action with Team Ice featuring 3 Miami future Hurricanes, JoJo Trader, Ryan Mack, and Pickett Jr. So it was great watching those guys on one field right behind me, and then on the other field was Team Fire with the linebacker Adarius Hayes, and I had a chance to talk to those guys afterwards with Adarius, Ryan, and also with Booker, catching up with him again. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'll post some video interviews as well as highlights coming after the event. After day 3, I'll be out here for the 3rd day of practice. As far as what I saw today, I want to start by somebody that you might not expect me to start with, and that's Ryan Mack. Not a highly regarded recruit out of St. Thomas Aquinas. There's more highly regarded players in this class, but I thought Ryan was great today. It really honestly surprised me at times because he was very good in one-on-one situations, going up against some very talented players, and he did a good job either sticking with them, making either if it's a tight catch, he was certainly right there, or, which was even better, he was breaking up passes. He had one against JoJo Trader on a one-on-one situation where he broke up a pass. He didn't get exposed or anything like that. He was very competitive in all of his reps, and he was just very good. He did a good job with his footwork, not biting on a lot of the fakes that these really talented receivers were doing. And it was just an overall great day by Ryan. And that was, I definitely had to catch up with him. That was the first guy I wanted to talk to after practice to get his thoughts on it. And one of the things that we talked about, and again, I'll have the interview on InsideTheU.com for VIP subscribers, but I will say some of the things that we talked about, and I just think because of the competition level that he's faced at the high school level, the 7-on-7 circuit, he comes out here, he's not going to be overwhelmed by the talent, and that's exactly what I saw today. That's what we talked about too, and he trains with these guys, Jeremiah Smith, Trader, Chance Robinson, he works out with these guys, and one of the things that we talked about too is sometimes, going against these guys, these talented players, you're going to get beat. But he's learned over, the progression of his career to not let those losses really sit with them rep to rep, and he just gets back out there and competes. And I know Mario Cristobal talked about that, going against these guys on signing day, and felt like that was one of Ryan's strengths. And certainly it played out today. Just an overall great day by Ryan today. I'm sure he's a confident player, but anytime someone can have productive games and practices and performances, it really can add to your confidence. So just a really good day by Ryan today. And the next player I'm talking about, it shouldn't surprise you at all because you guys know my thoughts on JoJo Trader, his talent, and just kind of seeing where he's ranked. Honestly, I think he's a little almost underrated, even though he's ultra talented, and that's what we saw today. One-on-one situations, this is what makes JoJo really difficult to guard, which makes him a very talented player. He's very good in one-on-one situations. He can do a number of different moves. He can beat you outside, he can beat you inside. He's great off the line, and then he's got great hands. And kind of watching him, you're always anticipating a big catch or a one-handed catch or something like that. And actually, in my mind, I saw a receiver the rep before made a nice one-handed catch on a one-on-one situation. They're working at about the 10 or the 15 on some red zone stuff, and JoJo was up next. I was like, in my head, I was like, I need to get in position here with my camera because I think JoJo might try to do something similar just to kind of compete with his fellow receivers. And sure enough, he made a really impressive catch on the sideline there, right in the end zone in traffic. It was just really impressive, and that was just kind of his day. Made a number of impressive catches, really difficult to guard in one-on-one situations, whether it was, like I said, inside the red zone, which I think makes him a unique player, a unique wide receiver, because sometimes you don't think, you think that, you have to be a bigger wide receiver to catch touchdown passes. And I think JoJo is going to be a guy throughout his career at UM is going to be able to find the end zone a number of different ways. He can stretch the field, he can go deep, he can make people miss, and just really explode with his speed and his quickness. But also I think he's a guy if in tight situations. I think he can, run routes good enough to get inside the red zone and catch there. I think that's going to be his biggest strength, is being able to find the end zone. And we saw that his senior year there, Shaman Abadana, state champ, 14 catching touchdowns, so that he definitely has that in him, and saw today making moves. Just an overall good performance. Another reporter came up to me and said, "Oh, JoJo's having a great day. He's just really impressed." And that's what people have come to expect when they watch JoJo, is just he impresses almost every time I've seen him. You just don't walk away unimpressed by the things he can do, the things that he does do. And just, I mentioned this yesterday in the video because we weren't able to see a lot. It was just a lot of walkthrough and installations, not overly exciting stuff going on. But, just watching JoJo and it throughout his career, he's just a guy that just seems to really love the game. Talking to his teammates, having a ball in his hands, whatever it might be. And one of the things too, I forgot to mention, he's serving as one of the captains for Team Ice. And, I think that's going to be something interesting to watch. And I feel like he's going to have a chance for a big game. And offensive players tend to, the games are typically low scoring because the defense usually does well. It's hard to get the installs in for the offense. But I think JoJo's got a chance to make a big play in the game. Either the connection with Cedric Bailey certainly has to help, but also just his ability, as I've mentioned, just his ability to get in the end zone. So definitely keep your eye on JoJo. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in day 3, getting ready for the game, because he certainly wants to put on a show like he did today, because there's no doubt about it, JoJo Trader put on a show today. So I had a chance to talk to Pickett Jr. again. I'll post the video. I did a video interview with them, today, and I'll post that on the channel. He had some good reps. I'll get more into Booker, but I want to talk about Adarius Hayes. He's on the other team, so you have to go over there and watch his field. But I did that today during this team action, a 20-minute session, 11 on 11, and he's playing a lot of middle linebacker and also some will. But I thought that was good just to watch him in the middle, and he feels like that's where he's going to go at Miami, really compete at the middle spot. And he said he's looking to take somebody's job. Obviously, Francisco Mauigoa is coming back, but he feels like he can either make an impact in that first year on that 4-2-5 defense, or just elevate himself with his other young linebackers. And he's certainly looking to pass those guys up, and we'll see how it goes. But out here, he's getting plenty of reps because there's only 3 linebackers on the roster. Sometimes they go with 2 linebackers out there, but he's a guy that's out there quite a bit. And it was fun just kind of watching him, different angles from the sideline. I also like watching defensive players, especially linebackers, from the end zone, where you can kind of see their movement, kind of see how the offense is looking from their eyes. And I thought he did a good job moving well, from sideline to sideline when he needed to. The ball wasn't always thrown his way, but I thought he was in pretty good position. And, when talking to him, afterwards, again, video interview with him. But he's certainly, I know he's listed at 6'4", but he's certainly all of 6'4", maybe even a 6'5". He's certainly a tall player, and I always find it interesting to kind of compare what they're listed at, and then when you actually see them in person, and certainly standing next to him, he's definitely taller than me, and he certainly has good height, and he's excited about UM. He certainly is. He's ready to get there, but he wants to do well here. Really kind of, take in the whole environment and really learn as much as possible. So like I said, he wants to make an immediate impact at UM. And I feel like these drills and just the competition, being in this environment, is certainly going to be good. He is looking forward, he is looking forward to facing the 3 Hurricanes in the game. And the way it's set up with the practices, you're on your own field throughout the practice. Your offense and defense, that's who you'll face. And so you don't go against the other team until the game day. But he does see these guys. So afterwards, they have a lot of events, activities. They eat together, they hang out together away from practice. And the Under Armour, the All-America event, they always do a good job of being able to provide those kind of things for the players to do. And Adarius is getting to know these guys, as well as also some of the other connections that he's already made with some guys throughout the recruiting process. And with Booker, it's fun watching him just go through position drills. They do a lot of different things, either staying low, getting around the corner. They do that quite a bit. They also work their way through some pads, making sure they're doing proper arm movements, just making sure their technique is good. And I feel like this kind of event, as well as getting into college, is always good, because sometimes at the high school level, they get by on a lot of their athletic ability, and when you're playing against tough competition, your technique has to be good. So he's learning a lot about that. And then he was able to translate what he did in position drills onto the one-on-one competition, as well as the team and 7-on-7 stuff, going against top offensive linemen. He did good. He mentioned it afterwards. He said he felt like he won 5 of the 6 one-on-one reps. And from what I heard, I didn't get to see all of his reps, but I wanted to check in just to make sure I got it all, kind of compared with what I saw earlier. And yes, he did well. So that's good. Good quickness. You're seeing the speed. Certainly he's not the biggest guy in terms of his weight, but he's got good frame in terms of his height, and his speed is the biggest thing. And that'll be the thing that'll translate, that he's hoping translates to the college level. But again, his mentality, I mentioned it before, but he's a guy that wants, bring it. That's kind of his mentality. The competition, he wants to face the best guys out here. He's not shying away from it. And he feels like that's only going to make him better. And I like that mentality. You've got to have a mentality like that when you get to the college level, because there's a lot of talented guys, no matter what college you go to, no matter what offensive lineman you're going to face talented guys. And you've got to be able to adjust your game from what you did as a defensive lineman in high school. And Booker certainly has the right mentality. I'm looking forward to seeing day 3. Day 2 was great. Once again, I was excited about this one. You can probably hear my voice. Day 1, just kind of getting here, it was a night. It was cold. Today was great, sunny. Just kind of brings back a lot of memories being back out here, seeing so many of these events, so many different players compete. So, I just want to wrap this up. If you have any comments, anything I'm missing, what you want me to touch on a little bit more. But again, I'm gonna have highlights on all 4 of these players afterwards. So you'll definitely, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely do that so you don't miss out on watching the players in action. Just kind of giving you guys a few notes, from day to day. But I'm looking forward to editing and going through all this stuff, trying to get the best footage for you guys as best as I can. So thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. I've been reading the comments. It's obviously great. Hopefully you have a happy new year. Hopefully 2024, if 23 was a little bit of struggle for you, hopefully 24 is even better for you. And so like I said, happy new year. Thanks for all your support and take care.